All right, so good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. So it is 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'm feeling I was just saying before we got started, I'm feeling very mellow today, and I feel like I just need to kind of move really slowly, get a little bit grounded. So I am going to ask you guys to really settle into your seats and notice what you need to be comfortable. If you need to put a couple of blocks under your knees while we sit, do that. If you want to put a blanket under your feet, do that. What will make you feel supported and held right now? Whatever that is, do that. And then bring your hands so that the back of your right hand is resting in your left palm, and let that rest on your lap. And the thumbs can either splay out or they can touch. Close your eyes. Begin to bring your focus down toward the earth, down towards your seat, your mat. Begin to feel that energy of being held and nurtured, that Mother Earth energy. It's a season where we really begin to root down and start to gather and prepare for the winter ahead. And we do that in so many ways, not just the season of winter, but we have winters of our lives, right? Things happen in our lives where we just need to really take good care of ourselves. We need to slow down. And we need to dive a little bit deeper into self care. So think about that. What does self care mean to you? What does being good to yourself right now mean to you? What is it that you can do in your life that maybe will bring you a little bit more peace? Or there are habits in your life that are causing you a lack of peace? And can you just become aware of those habits? Because they're habits, just by noticing them, they're not just going to go away. But when we begin to become aware of those habitual things that we do that rob ourselves of our own peace, then we begin to notice them. The awareness begins to draw this energy of solution. Because if we're not looking at them, we don't know they're a problem. As soon as we begin to look at something and say, maybe I don't want that in my life, or maybe I want to shift that, the universe is on board immediately. The universe immediately begins to bring things into my life that are going to help me find more self care if I choose. The universe is going to begin to highlight those places where my peace is being robbed or my time is being wasted. So I have the opportunity to choose differently. And so it all begins with that awareness. What is robbing me of my peace? If you ask yourself that question and this list of things on the outside begin to go through your head, so and so robs me of my peace, and this situation robs me of my peace, and my job robs me of my peace, then you're giving your power away because it feels like that. But it's really the way that we dance with those things, the way we interact with those things, or the fact that we choose to interact with those things at all. Right? If there's someone that you have in your life that you're constantly battling with, you can either choose to change the way you interact with that person, or you can choose to change the amount of time you spend with that person. Right? There are always so many choices we have, and our mind will throw these roadblocks or these obstacles up and say, yeah, but I can't do that because I can't leave a job I hate that makes me miserable every day because the bills won't get paid. Right? There's all these lists of why we can't move toward our peace. And again, these are things that have been growing inside of us for a really long time. There's a lot of things attached to those beliefs. So it's not about looking at those beliefs and saying, nope, I'm just going to leave my job tomorrow. It's about being aware of what robs me of my peace, acknowledging that it robs me of my peace. Maybe acknowledging that it scares me that I'm acknowledging that my job is robbing me of my peace. Right? Just acknowledging that's where it all begins. And then allowing the universe to do its magic and being willing to dance with the universe as the universe brings you situations, opportunities, obstacles to begin to clear that energy, to begin to reshape your life. Miracles happen when we can just put a little bit of faith into the fact that the universe is always on our side. Sometimes it doesn't look like it, but for me, I found that even when it didn't look like it, even when I hit a really big roadblock or something in my life that was really that was painful and felt really unfair, in hindsight, I'm able to see how it led me to a path of so much peace. Think about where any of this would apply in your life. Take a few more breaths with your eyes closed. And then let your hands float up to your heart center, palms together, thumb nestled right into the sternum, fingers spread, really feeling that connection with your own heart. And we're going to open with a chant, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. If you're familiar with it, please join with your voice. If not, please join with your ears. And it's a chant that calls upon our own inner wisdom, that invites that inner wisdom to rise up and support us. And it also connects us to the energy of all of the wisdom around us. So a nice deep inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Just pause with your eyes closed and feel, allowing the vibration to wash over you. And then moving into our next chant, Ad Gare Name. We do it as a celestial communication chant. So it's Ad Gare Name with your hands at your heart. Jugad Gare Name, bringing the energy to the third eye. Sat Gare Name, opening your heart to the universe. Siri Gurudev Name, bringing your hands back together in prayer, back to your own heart center. So 3 times with me. Ad Gare Name. Jugad Gure Name. Sad Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gure Name. Jugad Gure Name. Sad Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Ad Gure Name. Jugad Gure Name. Sad Gure Name. Siri Guru Deve Name. Pause and notice. Maybe feeling the energy of protection, like a gentle blanket beginning to cocoon you. Let yourself rest in that energy. Noticing if there is any resistance to gravity anywhere in your body right now. If your shoulders are hiked up, release them down. If your tongue is touching the roof of your mouth, let it go. Surrender right now to gravity and allow yourself to be held. Take a deep inhale. Bring that prayer up overhead. Reach your fingers up. Hold that breath. Squeeze the pelvic floor, the navel center up, up, up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then as you relax and exhale, bring your arms wide and around. As your fingers touch the floor, allow a sense of gratitude to move through you. Remembering that the earth is as grateful for you as you are for the earth. How essential you are in this world to this world. And as you open your eyes, place your hands on your knees, palms down. Just begin to bring your chin to your chest and then let it float up toward the sky. Do that a few times. Let your breath move with you. Maybe exhaling as you move down, inhaling as you rise up. Working any tension out of your neck. And then bring your head to center and begin the same motion from right to left, very gently, maybe feeling a little bit of a pull, a stretch in the side of your neck, but not a big stretch. Be really gentle. Just kind of rock your head from side to side. Bring your head back to center. We're going to do some gentle neck rolls. So chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder, head slightly back, left ear to left shoulder, and continue. Inhaling as you move in one direction, exhaling as you move in the other. Allowing your breath to bring you to the place of peace inside. If you follow your breath will always lead you to a place of peace. When we forget about our breath, when we let our breath automatically move with our emotions, and our breath sometimes follows our emotions to a place that's not so peaceful. So when you're feeling a little out of control, you're feeling a little angst, remembering to drop into that breath, to let it bring natural, to let it bring you to a place of grounding. Next time your chin touches your chest, pause, begin to move in the other direction. So what robs you of your peace? And how easy or difficult is it when you realize that your peace has been stolen to politely ask for it back? Say, excuse me, but I'm not going to engage in this conversation. Excuse me, but I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go lie down. I'm going to go eat some French fries. I've been craving French fries today. I had no idea why. I never crave French fries. Come to center. Eyes closed, just feel, just notice everything from the shoulders up. Notice the energy there. And then inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale your right hand to the floor next to you. Begin to walk that right hand forward as your left arm reaches over your left ear toward the right. Into a nice side stretch, and then pause for a moment and see if you can just kind of give yourself a little twist up toward the sky, opening your heart the energy of the moon that's just starting to rise, the remnants of the sun energy. Feel yourself being energized. And then keeping your torso where it is, take your right hand, lift it up so it's parallel to your left hand. Pause there for a moment, and then gently begin to bring yourself back up to center. Let your left hand move down to the left. And as it touches the floor, begin to walk out to the left. That right arm reaching over the left ear, pausing midway, opening up, and stretching a little bit more. Take a breath here, and then bring that left arm up so it's parallel, keeping your torso where it is. Rise up to center. Move to the other side and continue to flow that way, doing the same thing from side to side at your own pace, eyes closed. Beginning to dance with your peace. It always amazes me how gentle movement, gentle stretch begins to open up the energy in my body, the emotions, how the tension sometimes just seems to melt away. So often I don't realize how fast-paced my day can be and how little time I actually spend with me during that time when everything's so fast-paced, until I slow down, get into my body, and consciously move and dance. Remembering your breath. Next time you come back up to center, stay there, arms stretched out. Bring your arms wide out to a V, and then just begin to gently cross them in front of you as you inhale. Bring them back out as you exhale. Cross them the other way as you inhale. Out as you exhale. Just keep going, eyes closed. You can even give yourself a nice little hug. I see Lauren doing that. It's beautiful. As you cross, give yourself a nice big hug. I love that. And Perry. Love yourself. I love it. And the next time your arms come out wide, let them stay wide. Bring your right hand in to the center of your heart. Begin to press your left arm back, twisting back to the left. Come back to center. Let the left hand come onto your heart. Reach back with the right. And keep going, eyes closed. A little bit of move and twist here. Maybe find a mantra for yourself as you move. Maybe something like, I reclaim my peace. Or I'm grateful for my peace. Or whatever pops into your heart. Because without a doubt, what's also connected to our peace is our joy. Right? Sometimes, especially when things are crazy in the world, there's almost this sense of guilt for feeling joy. But now more than ever, we need to connect to our joy. The next time that your left hand comes onto your heart and you're stretching back to the left, pause for a moment, and then bring that left hand back into the center. So both of your hands are resting on the center of your heart. Close your eyes and feel. Think about this for a moment. If you knew that whatever you wished for was undoubtedly going to be able to be, I can't talk today, was going to come true immediately. What is it that you would wish for right now? Don't jump into this. Think about this for the world, not for yourself, not for your family, for the whole entire collective. what would your wish be? Think about that. And then wish that right now. Imagine the energy of that coming up from your heart space. Feel the energy of that wish moving out through your heart, out through your hands, which are an extension of that heart, and into the world. Imagine the energy of that wish as a color. Picture people's, tons and tons of people in front of you. Maybe you recognize some faces, maybe you don't, maybe they're all strangers. And imagine that energy, that color, moving through the crowd, embracing, covering, touching every single person. And then watch as it extends so far beyond your vision that it encompasses everything you see and more. Feel the energy of that wish moving out into the world. Just pause and feel that for a moment. Let your left hand drop to your left knee. Take your right hand, your thumb and your forefinger are going to be extended. So it's going to look like this, like a little U shape. You're going to take your thumb and close off your right nostril. You're going to inhale. You're going to use your forefinger to close off the left and exhale. So you're inhaling left, exhaling right. So you're moving back and forth. Nice quick breath. Right, so it's going to be closing off the right, inhaling through the left, closing off left, exhaling right, moving quickly. Eyes closed. Rest of your body relaxed. Inhaling through the left brings in that sense of peace and coolness, that moon energy, that goddess energy. Releasing it out through the right further relaxes that energy of anger, fear. So bringing in what we need to support our peace, releasing that which is inside of us that no longer serves our peace, letting it go, bringing it in. Take a deep inhale, drop your right hand to your knee. Suspend the breath, hold that breath in, squeeze the pelvic floor, navel center up, hold, exhale. Move on to your hands and knees coming into tabletop. And once you get there, begin some nice deep hip rolls, moving your seat back towards your heels, bringing it around, really extending forward, maybe even moving your hands a little bit forward so that you can open that chest, open that heart. And then pausing, moving in the other direction. Finding your center, coming to stillness. Take a look at your hands and make sure that they are firmly on the ground beneath you, under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Feel a nice firm foundation. And from that foundation, Begin to reach your right hand forward as if you were reaching for someone across from you. Left leg comes up and back behind you. Engage your core. Find your balance. And if you'd like, you can take that right hand and reach back for your left ankle, opening up. Or stay right where you are. Release everything straight out. Then slowly let it float back to the mat. Moving to the other side, left hand up and out. Right leg out behind you. Engaging your core, finding your balance. And then reaching back. Moving on to the ankle, opening that heart. That feels good for you today. Gently release, stretch everything out. Gently back to the mat. Bring your knees nice and wide, big toes together. First, sit back on your heels before you move into child's pose. And then move into child's pose so intentionally. Place your palms on the mat and walk slowly into child's pose. And once you get there, let your hands extend out long. Let your forehead rest gently. Begin to breathe nice and deep, really deep. Filling both the front and the back of your heart. Letting that breath extend all the way down to your toes, all the way out through the crown of your head. I'm just going to read a little reading from this book that I pick up every once in a while. It's called Heart Talk by Chloe Wade. This one is called Have Joy. Oftentimes, when the world feels chaotic, we begin to feel as if it is somehow inappropriate to have joy. Have your joy. Joy is a form of radical self-care. Joy energizes us to take on even the most difficult circumstances. When we have joy, especially in the midst of challenging times, we're saying to the world, I will define the current state of the world around me instead of allowing it to define me. Today, regardless of what is happening, empower yourself by embracing your joy. Empower yourself. Will we let the world around us, the chaotic energy around us, define us? Or will we become something that will help to define the world? Big question. Take another long, deep breath here. And slowly come back up at your own pace to tabletop. Once you get there, begin to extend that right foot behind you. And then bring that knee in towards your nose. Extend it back out, nose back up, and keep going in and out a few times. Next time that your leg rises up to the sky, stretch it as high as you can. And then bring the right knee down to meet the left. Do a few cat-cows here. Inhaling your heart forward, arching that back. Moving that spine, that cerebrospinal fluid, flowing and moving. Every movement be a testament to your joy. Let it be joyful. Smile. Celebrate your amazing self, your amazing grace. Come to stillness. Bring that left leg behind you, knee to nose, nose to knee. Move through that a few times. And then let that leg move all the way up to the sky, touch the moon, and then bring it down to the mat. Lower yourself to your belly. And you're going to come into Sphinx pose. So your forearms are going to be on the mat, fingers spread nice and wide, your chest moving forward, your head rising up. Just breathe here. Start to pull your elbows back a little bit. Let your chest come forward a little bit more. Give it a long, deep breath. And then see if you can do a little bit of a cat-cow movement here. Just letting your heart rock forward and arching your back a bit. Okay, and then bring yourself to stillness. And we're going to try a little shoulder stretch here. I can't see most of you guys, but if you have any trouble with my instruction, just kind of raise your hand. Thanks, Joe. All right, so you're going to, from Sphinx, take your right hand and begin to float it under your left arm. So it's kind of like thread the needle. And then you're going to begin to move your left arm to the right. So you're going to be tied up like a little bow here, almost elbow to elbow. Your head can move toward the floor or you can stay up a little bit. And just breathe. And then begin to move your left arm back to the right, to the left, your right arm back to the right, and back into Sphinx. And then slowly move to the other side. This time the left arm is going to be on top, I believe. The right arm is going to be on top. Wherever you weren't before, go there now. A little bit of a shoulder stretch. And slowly move your arms back to center. And then let your forehead move to the mat. Bring your arms to your sides. Take your hands and interlace them at your sacrum. Bring your legs toward each other. They don't have to be touching. Begin to press those toes, shins, thighs into the mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, pull your hands down towards your toes. Lift your chest, lift your head. Exhale back down. Keeping your fingers interlaced, bring your shoulders all the way up towards your ears. Make space. Inhale and exhale. Pull back down, come back up. Then let everything rest back down. Release your hands. Make a pillow for your forehead with your hands. Just breathe. Maybe turn your toes out away from each other, your heels toward each other if that feels good. Crocodile pose. And then bend your knees. Bring your soles up toward the ceiling and begin to just kick your feet as if you were trying to kick yourself in the butt. Just begin to kick your feet. Have a little bit of a tantrum here. Release some of that energy. And come to stillness. Let everything settle down to the mat. Just pause and breathe in stillness. Bring yourself back up into tabletop. When you get there, you're going to curl your toes. Let your hips rise up to the sky. Maybe pedal your knees here a little bit. And then begin to slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Begin to forward fold, Uttanasana. With your arms hanging nice and heavy, just begin to sway from side to side. Like you could even interlace your fingers. Think of an elephant. Think of an elephant swinging its trunk from side to side, releasing everything down. The beauty of Mother Earth is that her arms are open all the time, wide open. Her heart is wide open. Anything we're willing to release to her, she will take from us. She will share our burdens. She will share our joys. What is it that you want to give her? What do you want to release right now? What are your fears? What are your obstacles? What is keeping you from experiencing the empowerment of your joy right now, today? What's heavy on your mind? Let it go. And then, if you're still swaying, come back to center. Grab a hold of your ankles or your shins with your hands and take a couple of steps backwards. It's going to feel really awkward. Take a couple of steps backwards and then a couple of steps forward. Then release your hands back down. Bend your knees a lot. Inhale your arms forward. Come all the way up to stand. Once you get there, take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and gently begin to move to the right, opening up into a side stretch. You can even begin to let that right elbow bend so you can get into even more of a stretch, and then twist that heart up to the sky. Come on back up, move to the other side. Come back up, interlace those palms, press those fingers, press those palms up to the sky. And then begin to bring your head, your chest, and your arms forward. So your palms are pressing forward, your ears are being framed by your arms, and start to just kind of move and twist and flow, letting your arms lead you. Right? You can do a little dance here. Just do what feels good. You can bend those elbows a little bit, maybe even start to make figure eights. Bring your whole body into it. Just twist and flow. And then begin to slow down, slow down, and slow down till you find yourself at that point of stillness again. Let your hands come down to your sides. Take a peek at your feet. Make sure they're pointing forward parallel to each other. And then close your eyes. Pause. Turn to your right, and you're going to step your legs nice and wide. So you're going to be on the wide side of your mat. Nice and wide. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, dive down into a wide-legged Uttanasana. Bend your knees enough so that your hands can touch the earth. Breathe here. Start to slowly walk forward, coming into a wide-legged downward facing dog. Just beginning to walk your hands forward with your legs nice and wide. Stretch yourself out here. Let it feel really good to stretch, stretch, stretch. And then walk your hands back in. Walk your left hand over to your right ankle. Bring your right arm up to the sky. Right hand back down, everything back to center. Move to the other side. You guys look amazing. Back to center. Place those hands on the floor, bend your knees a lot, and you're going to begin to bend into your right knee and then bend into your left, rocking from side to side. Skandasana, dance, skater pose. Opening those hips. Finding some joy right in this moment, being playful. And come back to center. Bend your knees a lot. Place your hands on your hips. Slowly rise back up. Once you get there, bring your arms overhead out into a V, 5-pointed star pose. Really stretch everything. Ground your feet. Press out from your fingertips. Let the crown of your head move to the sky. Feel how expansive you are. And then from here, begin to bring your arms back even further. Just open them as far back as you can get them. Really stretch them open. And then begin to bring your right hand towards your left hand, twisting. Back to center, left hand toward the right. And keep flowing that way a few times. Inhale your arms up overhead. Pull the pelvic floor, the navel center up. Hold your breath. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, let everything come down. Step back to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, dive down. Bend your knees, plant your hands. Right foot comes back. Left to meet it. Knees gently make their way to the floor. And then settle back into easy pose. Coming to a seat, you can put a blanket underneath you. Before we make our way to our backs, we're going to do a little bit of a breath work meditation. So get nice and comfortable. You can sit up on a blanket or two. This is a Kundalini meditation. It's a meditation for, it's actually called How to Deal with Threats. So when there's so much going on around us and there's this energy of anger or fear, whatever it is, there's so much going on in our world today, right? And we can't just ignore it. It's there. And we can't ignore how it affects each of us individually. On some days, I'm great with it. I can totally navigate through it and it doesn't affect me. And there's other days that, I leave the supermarket and I feel like internally, I feel like I've been through, a battle. And so when we begin to deal with that from the inside, when we use our breath, when we use our ability to go inside and be quiet, then we can find that calm place, that foundation that we can take with us when we walk out into the world. So it's a very simple meditation. It uses the chant Satanama, and it also uses the hand positions that many of us are familiar with for Satanama. So it's Sa, thumb and forefinger, Ta, thumb and middle, Na, ring, Ma, pinky. Your arm's going to be up like this. And your hands are just going to kind of hang. Your eyes are going to be closed. You're going to take a deep inhale. Exhale, hold the breath out. Do Satanama 4 times to yourself, quite quickly. After the 4th time, you're going to inhale. Exhale completely. 4 times again. Make sense? All right, everybody looks like you're going for it already, so go for it. I'll let you know when to stop. If at any time you feel dizzy or it feels like too much, pause, just do some nice long deep breathing or some natural breaths, and then start again. Let your body relax as you move your fingers. You relax your body with your breath out. Find that it's so much more comfortable. Satanama, the cycle of life. Everything has a beginning, a middle, an end, and a rebirth. Every day, every life, every relationship. This is a meditation to begin to release the grip of the negative mind. Allows you to begin to project that joy inside of you out into the world. To do exactly what Cleo Wade said in that reading. To begin to affect the world rather than having the world affect you. Be what you want to be and send that out to the world. And then you see that in the world. This meditation is said to take you beyond all fear. It's a warrior's meditation. To walk bravely into this world as you. After your next round, let your hands come down to your knees, return to your natural breath, eyes closed. Just feel. Allowing yourself to see beyond the illusion of the threat and see the love that is threaded through, that's interlaced through everything, everyone. It's either love or it's fear. And if it's fear, it can be loved into peace. Slowly open your eyes and make your way to your back. Once you get there, bring your knees into your chest. Reach for your big toes. Your knees are going to be bent. Take your hands and begin to pull your legs up as straight as you can and then bring them back down. Moving into a frog pose here. This pose is so good to balance your entire energy system, your chakras. And the next time that your feet come down, bring the soles of your feet together. Your feet are still up in the air. Baddha Konasana. You can take your hands and place them on the outsides of your thighs if you want, or on your toes, whatever feels good. Breathe here. From here, you're going to bring your right knee into your chest. Your left leg is going to move up toward the ceiling. And then slowly begin to lower your left leg straight down onto the mat. Just begin to bring it up and down, up and down, up and down. Engaging your core. Next time it comes up, bring your left knee into your chest. Extend your right foot up to the sky. Slowly lower the right leg and begin that up and down motion. And the next time that leg comes up, both knees into your chest. Place one hand on each knee and begin to circle your knees away from and then toward each other. And then move in the opposite direction. And as you come to stillness, plant your feet. You're going to lift and shift your hips to the left slightly. Let your knees fall out to the right, coming into a spinal twist. Your arms can be out in a T. Gaze to the left. Coming back to center, moving to the other side, shifting those hips over to the right, knees to the left. What is stealing your peace? What is stealing your joy? Is it your own thoughts? Is it your own attachment to trying to figure things out? For me, often it's my inability to really be present with what's going on right here, right now, to notice all the beauty in front of me. And then I stop and I pause and I breathe and I look, and all of a sudden, there it is, my peace, my joy. Come back to center. Reach for your insteps. Bring your knees in towards your armpits. Happy baby pose. You can rock on your spine if you'd like, or stay still. And then releasing your feet back to the mat, knees bent. Bring them nice and close to your butt, arms at your sides. And let's do a few flowing bridges before we move into Shavasana. So inhaling your arms up overhead so they land on the mat behind you as your hips come up. And then exhaling those arms back forward as your hips lower. And just keep moving. Will you allow the current state of the world to define you? Or will you define the current state of the world? How will you show up tomorrow, the next day? Come to stillness. Take any final stretches or twists. And then make your way into Shavasana. I think a really big question is, as you begin to look at the world and look at yourself and decide what it would take to retain your peace, can you be gentle with yourself as you move through that? Can you allow yourself to feel the fear and then to remember who you are, remember your strength, remember your joy? Can you allow yourself to just be, and can you allow those around you to just be? Can you release your opinions for just a little while every day and just notice the love? Dare to be nothing. Sit in the space that exists before you try to meditate. Rest in the quiet that underlies all thought. Return again and again to flowing stillness without denying a single expression of truth. Dare to be nothing, know nothing, do nothing, until the vastness pours through you. Live the absolute behind the relative, the unifying love beneath all points of view. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bring gentle movement to your fingers and your toes. Let your head gently rock from side to side. Maybe take one more twist here. And then bring the palms of your hands, the soles of your feet together, rub, creating that spark, connecting to the divine inside of you. And as everything comes to stillness, either rock up and down on your spine if you're lying down, or roll to your right side. And we'll all meet, palms together at the heart, eyes closed. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in closing today with a long sat nam. Deep breath in. Sa. Nam. Your thumbs, the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own amazing sweetness. Be loved, believe, be true to you. Sat Nam.